The NXT UK champion, the bruiserweight Pete Dunne, has his biggest challenge to date. Walter. The energy has been electric, and what a way to kick off WrestleMania weekend. Here in the Big Apple, we are in the Barclays Center. Pete Dunne has quite the challenge ahead of him, but it is nothing he can't handle. There is a reason he is the NXT UK champion. Already a stare down between these two. Just locking eyes. They have not left each other's eyes. They are solely focused on brutalizing each other as they tie up. The thing is, though, in this matchup, Walter has the size advantage. He's going to have that power advantage over the bruiserweight. Walter, since showing up, has made a huge impact in NXT UK and NXT. So there's no doubt about it in my mind that Walter is beyond capable of taking this match. In fact, it seems to be in favor of having a new champion. Walter, very crafty, able to counter Dunne's attempt, but Dunne able to take down the leg and goes all for it. And look at the way that Dunne, a master joint manipulator, as he torques the ankle of the ring general. And Walter is right back up to his feet and gets right in the face of Pete Dunne. Walter realizing, I'm going to have to be prepared to go for the distance in this matchup, and putting in a lot of work to make sure he's in the best shape he could possibly be in. And like I said, master joint manipulation now goes for the fingers, and the fingers is a big part of any wrestler's strategy, especially with Walter's traditional in-ring style. The ring general Walter, his tradition of the infamous chops of his, could be taken out of play if Pete Dunne is to get his hands on the hand and torque the joints of the fingers of Walter. That being, as Walter has Pete Dunne right where he wants him, went for a thunderous chop, was looking for the beginning of the end. Once the chops start, they don't end until the bell rings and the match is over. And again, they're looking to tie up, but Walter went right for the arm of Dunne. Tying and putting a lot of pressure, lifting up Dunne and showing that size advantage over the NXT UK champion. And look at the way that Walter is putting the torque on the arm of the NXT UK champion. Walter has truly had the advantage in this matchup so far. And infuriated responds with the first of what will most likely be many chops to come. And there comes the aggression of the ring general. The ring general Walter, should I say. And Walter trying to take down and just kneeing in Pete Dunne. Walter doing everything he can to keep Pete Dunne grounded. This is a brilliant strategy, especially when you have a smaller opponent who is going to try and use quickness to their advantage. You need to use your size to your advantage and slow down your opponent. Keep them as close to you as possible, not giving them any time to get the upper hand. Oh, nice leap up and over from Dunne, who's trying to use his quickness. It's like running into a brick wall. And Walter just leaped up and over and just nailing Pete Dunne with a big boot. How's Walter going to follow up, though? Walter lifting up the NXT United Kingdom champion with a thunderous chop. We are up at the top. Look at this. Just wrenching on the neck with his boot. Could have popped off the skull. Pop it off the head of Pete Dunne like an action figure. And pops up and down. And a throwaway backdrop suplex to Pete Dunne on the apron. There is going to be no mercy for the champion in this title match. The clock could be ticking. We could be seeing the rise of a new era for NXT UK. Pete Dunne tried to get a kick. Another one. The first one had no substance. The second one kind of stumbled the challenger a little bit there. And now it's Walter's turn to get some torque on the ankle of the bruiserweight. Walter now going after the ankle. Let's look at that torque on the ankle. And the bruiserweight trying to fight through. And just like that, look at the brilliance of the bruiserweight, who has a heel hook on the ring general in the center of the ring. But the ring general tries to fight back with a thunderous chop. But the bruiserweight is not holding back, putting more pressure on this heel hook. That second chop was enough to force free. Now it's Walter, who has the bruiserweight right where he wants him, and full weight down on the lower back with the Boston Crab. It could be all over soon. But the bruiserweight using all of his force, all of his strength to scratch and crawl, and he makes it to the bottom rope, forcing the rope break. Pete Dunne showing grit as he was able to fight free, but Walter is not too far behind to stay on the attack. And the official telling Walter to get Pete Dunne inside the ring, and a clubbing blow to the chest of the champion by Walter. And again, another clubbing blow. Oh, wait just a minute. Pete Dunne catching the hand of the challenger as he pulls back on the fingers. And only infuriating Walter, who just clocked Dunne in the face with that massive boot, sending Dunne off the apron onto the floor, out like a light. Thanks for coming. Bang, a roni and cheese, just like a pizza from Papa John's. And Pete Dunne rolls back into the ring. Walter is showing the truth of the words across his trunks, being the ring general. But the thing is, Walter isn't champion, at least not yet. Pete Dunne still remains the title holder. But for how long? But Pete Dunne isn't done fighting yet as he fights back. And Walter, though, outpowers, up and over, lands on the feet. It's Dunne, and a nice enziguri in the corner. Dunne was trying to get a German suplex. Oh, Dunne landed on his feet after Walter's attempt at a German suplex, and a kick to the back of Walter. And Walter scrambles and rolls to the floor. Walter wisely and showing his experience as he rolled to the floor. Dunne. And a moonsault takes out Walter on the floor. Pete Dunne playing it all, throwing all the cards. Talk about his biggest magic trick to date. Usually you don't show all your cards. But tonight there is champion's advantage. And Walter able to roll back into the ring first. Pete Dunne could have taken the easy way out. But that is not what it means to be champion. That is not the type of champion that the Bruiserweight is. Oh, and a cheap throat chop to the champion. Walter gonna scale the top to meet the champion. It's a dangerous date for dangerous territory. High risk, high reward could be coming up. But again, Pete Dunne looking to take out a few digits of Walter. Sunset flip. But Walter hanging on for dear life. But Walter doesn't hang on for long. And down goes Walter to retain. But Walter able to kick out. And wisely rolls as far away from Pete Dunne as possible to prevent Pete Dunne from capitalizing on the damage that he's done. Let's get another look at this impact on the seated power bomb. It was a sunset flip power. It was supposed to be a full-on straight and go sunset flip power bomb, but Walter was able to hold on. Eventually, the grip was cut short due to the finger joint manipulation from Pete Dunne throughout this match and a capitalization. And now off the top with a stomp. All the weight of Pete Dunne onto the chest of Walter on the floor. And the ring general is not having a good day. Let's get another look at this. Bang! 15 feet. All the weight from the boots driving into the chest of the ring general. And they're almost halfway there to being counted out. Dunne is not going to take that way out, as I mentioned before. Dunne is going to try and do what he can to win the right way, to retain the title with ease. Dunne, little malfunction there, losing his stepping a little bit later on in this matchup. Showing the wear and tear, the exhaustion. Walter has the sleeper hold in. This could be enough to call a new champion. Oh, that was nasty. And turning Dunne inside out with that German throw. And a power bomb stacking Dunne high. Oh, but Dunne able to survive. Walter using all 300 pounds of him to stack up the champion, and it still wasn't enough to get the job done. Pete Dunne is doing an impressive job at holding on to his championship the best he can. Walter doing the best he can to make sure that there is a new NXT United Kingdom champion who will lead NXT UK into its future. NXT UK is the future across the pond. But here we are in the US. It is WrestleMania weekend, and these two are putting on a show that could steal the entire weekend. Walter saying he wants more. Hit me with your best shot and fire away. And they fired with a slap. And Walter responds with a chop and just driving his boot into the chest of Dunne. Look at the blood vessels of the champion nearly popping open. And Dunne slapping the challenger. Now it's Dunne is trying to find a new life. But Walter with another shot that brings Dunne down to his knees. Walter has complete control of that left wrist and has not let go. Went for another chop. But look at this. Another opportunity for Dunne for joint manipulation. But here comes a test of strength. Oh, that stomp right on the throat. And a twist of the neck. And a follow-up power bomb. Dunne laying on his feet. Step up enziguri. Down goes the challenger. But so does down go the champion. With both superstars down, we are at a big turning point in this match. Who is going to capitalize on the opportunity? While Pete Dunne was the one to get the last shot in with that step up enziguri, his body is experiencing a lot of wear and tear from what Walter has provided, the damage that he has offered. Pete Dunne has an angered look on his face as he tries to fight through the pain. Walter trying to pick that ankle of the champion. Pete Dunne has the hands of Walter under his feet and stomps on the hands and follows it up with a kick to the back of the head. Dunne scales his way up, looking to risk it all. But a punch to the back of the knee just drops down the champion, and Walter makes the climb. The bruiserweight is about to experience extreme pain, but he holds on for dear life. Not letting go. Look at this. He's got the sleeper. Oh, that's nasty. Sending Walter's hand into the top of the ring post. Looking for a high collar. High collar suplex. Turns Dunne inside out by the ring general. Follows it up as he hooks the foreleg for victory. And again, Pete Dunne finds a way to kick out. Look at this. Absolutely brutal. An absolute train wreck of what we just witnessed. Dunne to Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is showing how much damage his body has endured, but he's also showing resiliency of just how much more he is willing to take as he fights his way and works his way back up to his feet. Blocks a chop from Walter. The hand of Walter gets caught, and the joints get twisted. And Dunne takes the fingers out, and a snap German off the ropes. Dunne, and a crucifix bomb to retain. Oh, Walter survives. That crucifix bomb, almost enough to put away Walter. But Walter, just as much as Pete Dunne is showing that he has all the fight in the world left, Walter's got some resiliency as well to not overlook. This is what it means to bring your very best to WrestleMania weekend. And the Walter and Bruiserweight chants come in hot. They are experiencing a true war, the NXT fans, here at the Barclays Center. In this capacity crowd, Walter getting the boots up to block Pete Dunne's attempts. Now it's Pete Dunne who stomps away at the skull. Oh, wait, whoa. Walter had the sleeper, but Dunne again turns it around, stomping on the challenger. Oh, and the fingers. This could surely do it. Oh, look at the submission. Look at where the arms are. Walter writhing in pain. Nowhere to go. I would say, for Pete's sake, just tap out. But Pete Dunne is the one in control, and Walter found the bottom rope. Resilience, tenacity, all of the above have been shown between these two superstars that are defining as the future of this industry. Walter truly truly showing that despite his size that he can go the distance the best he can. But the thing is, he's breathing heavy. This match has gone on quite long. Oh, what a slap. Oh, and a clothesline knocks Dunne off the top. Talk about getting knocked off your rocker. Walter looking to go high. You don't see this too often, climbing up to the top. And a splash, but gets caught. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Walter caught in the triangle. Walter is down. And the joints. Oh. Walter just hammering away at Dunne. And fighting his way free as he stomps away on the bruiserweight. Walter bringing the absolute fight to Pete Dunne. This is proving to be a blast of the past, bringing a battle that could surely hold up from years past all the way back to the 70s and the 80s with the likes of Bruno Sammartino. Oh, went for a boot. Up. Uh-oh. Was thinking it, but Walter says no. And a lariat lays out the champion. Follows up, but a nasty forearm. And Walter gets rocked off his feet. Could it be? He got all of it to retain. Oh my God! Walter just found a will and a way to kick out. How in the world did Walter just kick out? For the mental game, that's going to take a lot out of you. You just hit your biggest shot on your opponent, and it wasn't enough to put him away. That is the move that made Pete Dunne champion, but it wasn't the move in this match to help him retain. Dunne, his face says the entire story. He is at a loss of what just happened, in sheer shock and disbelief at Walter's ability to continue to fight. It has been a historic reign for Pete Dunne, to say the least. But will it be Walter to rise? Is it time for the ring general? As we find ourselves in the deep waters, these two superstars meet in the middle as they trade blow for blow, shot for shot, tit for tat. Oh, that's a nasty chop. But tries to shake some feeling back into his fingers after it, especially after all the joint manipulation at the hands of Pete Dunne. Walter, I'm ready for you. That's what Walter's saying to Pete Dunne. Walter returns with a nasty chop and another. Dunne answering the call. But for how long? Who is going to take it up a notch to create the separation? Make the distance between where these two are. The ref pulling back. Pete Dunne allows Walter to get a nasty boot. Out like a light. That could be it. Walter not going to cover. Walter going to make the climb. Walter is exhausted, but Pete Dunne is down and out. Walter could be finding himself on the climb. I was going to say Walter was finding himself on the climb. But now Dunne, who's trying to capitalize. Pete Dunne meeting Walter up at the top. One last sign of hope. The last big move could be the difference maker for Pete Dunne. Oh, look at this triangle at the top. Look at these repeated chops from Walter. Walter turns it around. Uh-oh, thanks for coming. Power bomb off the top. And a big move like that this deep into the match is not a good sign for the champion. Walter back up to his feet and quickly scales the turnbuckles to find his way up at the top. And a splash! And he scores. 1, 2, 3. We've got ourselves a brand new NXT United Kingdom champion. And his name is Walter. What a brutal match. An absolute fight between two of NXT UK's best. What a way to close this matchup. What a turn of events. Pete Dunne was a true dominant NXT UK champion, but it is time for the rise of the Ring General. Walter, the sign is there. The graphic, new WWE NXT United Kingdom champion. Congratulations to the Ring General. Let's get a look at this, though. Some of the highlights of this match. The turning point. This is where they just wanted to give each other everything they had at the end when they met in the middle. High impact. There was the rope break here. Ref pulling back Pete Dunne. Walter was able to capitalize and get the big boot that laid out Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne would meet Walter up at the top, but here would be the difference maker. A huge power bomb off the top to Dunne. Walter, moments later, would scale up to the top. 300 pounds, velocity crashing down on the bruiserweight to secure himself as the brand new NXT UK champion. The rise of the Ring General, Walter.